We're into creepy stuff, so this is like,
Holy
crap.
At the same time.
And SnarkAlecs was live.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 74.
Four.
I knew that. 74 of SnarkAlec Radio. Joining us tonight, we have the very, very, very special guest, Mr. Pat Briggs. Say hello to everybody, Pat.
Hey, everyone. What's up?
Joining us as always, we have Kelly Toole.
Hi, everybody. It's Kelly, the Kelly, also known as 8-Track.
And, of course, Kelly is fresh out of prison and may or may not have been an 80s porn star. And joining us tonight, we have Dylan.
Hello. How's it going?
At the same time.
SnarkAlecs was live.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 70.
Okay.
Oh,
Patrick, we're watching the beginning of the show.
74 of Snark.
Who's watching the beginning of the show?
I think Patrick is. I think he's going to. He might have it on in the screen in the background.
We're into creepy stuff, so this is like, that Kelly is funny. I'm telling you, that's a funny guy, that Kelly.
Hey, Patrick, you've got the show probably open in a back window.
Holy crap. At the same time.
We're into creepy stuff, so this is like,
It's keep on looping back.
we're into creepy stuff.
It's the creepy
SnarkAlec
SnarkAlec Radio.
It's but 18 times in the show. It's not that good of a line.
Okay.
And the best part is we still haven't introduced Tony.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Solo. And
Speaking of creepy stuff.
Off the air, Tony was just asking Kelly to change his diaper. Tony, with the news, go ahead.
So, to start out the news, the first question is, Kelly, do you have any booze of the week?
Yeah, the Terracuda one, there were boos. I got booed by Mel, Pirate Mel. She gets boo of the week. Way to go. Good job, Pirate Mel.
Okay, so I guess we don't have that one handy.
No, well, you threw it out at me so quick. Why don't you do other news, and maybe I'll get back.
Okay, all right, so let's do birthdays. So coming up in the next week, we've got Tammy LaRock, August 9th on Saturday. Sunday, August 10th, Helena McGivna, Mike's side piece. And on Monday...
oh my God! Really? Really?
Yes, really.
Side piece?
Yeah, we got to talk about that, Mike. And
We will.
Monday, it's Pasico. It's his birthday. And each and every one of them are going to be 99 respectively. But, yeah, we can have a discussion about Mike and Helena's relationship one of these days.
No, I was your side piece, Mike. Whatever.
I'm sorry, Pat. You know my heart's with you.
Side piece fight.
So do we have any Snark Stock updates? Dun dun dun. Question.
Who's that directed at? Is that directed at me?
Maybe Kelly, the person who's not paying attention.
No, I'm
Kelly.
looking for a boo of the week. What Snark Stock updates did I have? I'm a man of no control over Snark Stock. I'm not in the Philly area, so talk to Mike.
Okay, so in other
It's going to
words,
be at the First Banana, and in 2 weeks, I'm bad at math, in a couple of weeks, Reggie, the owner of the First Banana, will be on the show, and she'll tell us all about the venue and everything you guys can expect.
okay, that's cool. So Sunday, Dylan knows. What does Dylan know on Sunday, Dylan?
Actually, Dylan doesn't know Sunday this week. Dylan knows Saturday this week. Prime time, 9 p.m. Jerry can't do Sunday, so we're doing Saturday. We're doing our list show, top 5, since it's vacation season's winding down, but, you know, people still might be wanting to go on vacation. We're going to do something different here, top 5 vacation spots that we've gone on in our lives. Should be pretty interesting. Something different, unique, keep things fresh.
But with a 9 p.m. start time,
9
and
p.m.?
sometimes some of the start issues you have, it might be on Sunday, right? It could be.
It could very possibly be. Yes, Kelly, absolutely right.
Well, I can tell you what it is going to conflict with. It will conflict with The Darkest Hour. It is a premiere on Sci-Fi. It's not a sci-fi movie. And 5 young people in Moscow lead the charge against an alien race who have attacked Earth via our power supply. So that's right. The aliens are coming in through your plugs, through your cell phone chargers. And Kelly? Yes, Kelly?
So I have Boo of the Week. I apologize for my lack of preparation. I'm a horrible person, but I can now offer Boo of the Week if you want it.
Sure, go ahead.
And I'm lying. Pirate Mel, who usually wins Boo of the Week, she didn't, because Helena, somebody's side piece.
Mike's side piece?
Mike's side piece. That's just horrible. That's horrible. Anyway, Helena booed me for, I tweeted out during the movie we'll talk about in a second, she was in the underwater boat, and I said her vehicle appeared to be substandard, and she gave me a hearty boo and a red card. So we give her Boo of the Week for the double whammy of the boo and a red card. So congratulations, Helena McGivney.
Okay, and the following Saturday is Zodiac Signs of the Apocalypse. Will be on Sci-Fi.
Was that the one that was canceled and or postponed rather?
Postponed. I think they never ever played it. So it is a Sci-Fi movie premiere. And then on the 30th, there's a movie called Bait On, which is something I've never seen before. And the only other question that, so do we have any news on the fundraiser, Mike? Did that go live, or are we still?
Yeah, everything should be going up tonight. Just go to the site that I can't remember right now, and on that site you'll find all the information. For $10, you can spend the week at Kelly's house. That's one of the things on the fundraiser. Kelly 100% agreed to this.
Missing some zeros there.
Said that there's going to be daily foot rubs and cuddle sessions. So anybody wants to take him up on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Mike.
Yep. Yeah. So he just said yeah. I think you're forgetting you're forgetting an important part of the news though, which is I went for my pedicure, and the color that I settled on was iron. Pat had suggested pewter on Facebook, so that's what I asked for when I went, and they didn't have that, but they gave me iron. So it turned out well though.
I like that. There's an alternative.
And so I did throw out, and I want to see if we can get Pat's comment on this. So there is a young lady named Bronwyn who is in Canada, and she's been on Dylan's show numerous times, and we wanted to get her on this show because she's just a cool gal. And there was actually a threat of a war between us and Canada if she didn't appear on the show. She agreed to come on only if Mike was in drag. So Mike agreed to that, so I suggested that she come on next week. And
Japanese, you know?
yeah, but it's because who doesn't want to see Mike in drag? Everybody does.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a whole lot of people who haven't seen me in drag.
I haven't.
But, well, there you go. Then Tony will learn.
The beard and mustache?
No, with the beard, of course.
That's not drag.
Yeah, you're not. You got to commit, Mike, man. Go on. Don't be a pussy.
We
Go on.
have a local drag queen and cabaret singer named Martha Grahamcracker.
Yeah.
I go to a lot of her shows, and her thing is that she's the hairiest drag queen.
There's got to be something wrong with that.
Yeah, her shows are great.
Well, my daughter watches the show with RuPaul. With all the drag, I forget what it's called.
Drag Race. It's called Drag Race.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it because she watches the marathons and stuff, and it's pretty funny. But
we're back to the my daughter watches it excuse again.
Yes, well, just like it was Kelly's daughter's ponies.
Tony
in that
has
video.
no children, you know, but his daughter was watching.
Tony lives alone, but oh, my daughter was watching this, so I had to.
Got these puppets he brings out. Well, no, here, let's watch this show. Yeah.
Hey, if you don't stop, I'm going to make you watch Jesse McCartney live, okay?
Another one from your daughter, right?
Yeah, and strawberry shortcake.
Yeah, I bet those all came from their library.
Yeah.
That's like when you came over with your wife's extra large men's size Michael Bolton T-shirt.
Okay. I thought you forgot all about that one.
No.
God damn it! I'm digging myself into a deeper hole, ain't I?
Stories unraveling.
So anyway, it looks like Mike isn't really going to commit to the drag thing. So we're going to have to make that happen. But anyway, that's all I have for the news. Fund Anything, Mike, would be the name of that site.
Yeah, that's it. Go to fundanything.com/loudandloaded, and for $10 you can spend a week at Kelly's house. You just heard him say yes, that's all true.
Yeah. So just to kind of clarify on that, my yes was is that last show, if you remember, Mike, you were offering me some PR tips and what I need to do to learn how to plug better. And kind of, hey, this is how you do when you kind of, and you can't even remember the website name for the fundraiser. Really?
Tony remembered.
Okay, fine. You got people to remember that. All right, fair enough.
Ah, boy, I got to try and find it now. So anyway, we've got a couple of minutes, so we want to talk about Sharknado 2/Sharktopus Terracuda.
I really want to hear, Pat, you said that you saw Sharknado 2. I would love to hear your
Parts
parts of it.
through
Okay.
Yeah. The whole thing. Too much for me.
It was too much for a lot of people, but based on, I mean, they only played it like 1 billion times over the weekend, so they got, I think there was something like 13 million viewers or something like that combined. So they've already gone
You're
ahead.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 2 of those were your daughters, and they're fake. So, so it was 12 million.
12,998,998.
Thank you. Math is hard. Good job.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, it was better than the first one. It was definitely better than the first one, I think.
But not as good as Big Ass Spider, right?
I don't think it was. I don't think anything's going to touch Big Ass Spider.
That was good.
As far as goodness, but I like the way they started it out with the airplane type thing. They had Robert Hayes from the original Airplane movie, and that whole scene in the airplane where I thought they were going to start doing some slapping, but then they went to William Shatner, Twilight Zone, something's out there on the wing, and all that nonsense. It was really funny. My real daughters were actually laughing so hard that they were in tears.
I bet they were.
They were.
Of course.
I'm looking because I did have some tweets from that movie. I have the other ones too.
So, Dylan, you were able to catch it too as well?
Yep, was watching it at the vacation house. I agree with Tony. I believe it was much better than the first one. My main issue with the first one was it was Sharknado, and for the majority of the film, it was just basically sharks in Los Angeles. I mean, just sharks swimming around after the water overflowed in Los Angeles. And I'm trying
That's
to get
what broke the reality for you?
Well, no, it's called Sharknado, Mike. It's supposed to be like Sharknadoes all over the place, like it was in this one. I mean, there was a few of the sharks swimming around in the city, but the most part, you got the two, actually end up being 3 Sharknadoes all rolling in at one time, and that was what was supposed to be. When you say Sharknado, it's not Sharks in Los Angeles, because I've seen that movie before too. But this is, Sharknado. You need to see Sharknadoes running through the United States, shooting sharks everywhere. Is what you need to do.
So, I guess you've never watched Troll 2. Which
I've never watched Troll 2. No.
Zero trolls.
Pat, have you seen Troll 2?
No, but I'm living it right now, basically.
Yeah, I mean, they really did up their game. The cameos, some of them were distracting, but all of the kills weren't. The 2 dudes that get killed by the Statue of Liberty head that's rolling down the street were pretty good. They also had a couple other pretty fun deaths. So, but it was well done. I was very, very happy with it. On the other hand, Sharktopus versus Terracuda was the best part of that movie was the first 2 minutes when they showed scenes from Sharktopus. And Pat, if you haven't seen Sharktopus, that movie starts out with a young couple jogging on the beach in Mexico, and they decide to go bungee jumping. And as you know, she was scared, but she loved it. And then, as she's saying, "I want to go again," shark comes up out of the water and just eats her, which is pretty funny.
It's basically a metaphor for the entire entertainment business.
Pretty much. Pretty much. They had a couple of guys that get swiped. Now, it's a Sharktopus, so it's part shark, part octopus. Just pulls the people off the side of the ship with its tentacles. And that was pretty funny. And then after that, I think the funniest thing that happened was the Conan O'Brien death.
That was good. I thought that was pretty. I mean, it was
Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, it was.
I think the next thing they should do is like half shark, half Yorkshire Terrier.
Sharrier. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, but it would have to it would have these little feet, right? And then it would have this big giant head. It would
going.
A really big, obnoxious queen carrying it under his arm. Yeah.
Or
the sad part is that they're going to take that idea.
Awesome. I love that. I love that visual.
Or instead of it being like
Rip Taylor carrying it under his arm.
Rip Taylor with that hair, with that reddish orange hair.
Brassy, we'll call it brassy.
Brassy. But I'm thinking instead of a big giant shark head with little feet, how about just a whole bunch of terrier-sized little sharks on little terrier feet just swarming like piranhas? That could be just as good.
Yep.
Oh, mercy.
And they only go into more affluent areas because we have got these little yeah.
Yeah.
So there was maybe we take a quick break and do some tweets, and then we'll talk to Pat about his stuff.
Definitely. So you're listening to SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Load the station. This isn't my job, but I'm taking us out.
I was going to do it, but apparently you're okay with stealing my job.
You were looking like you were sleeping. I didn't know.
I'm here. I'm ready. I was doing the fisting. You saw it.
Your fisting throws me. Anyway, we'll be right back. More fisting from Mike.
And we're back. I just got done fisting Kelly. And, we are joined by a very special guest tonight, Mr. Pat Briggs. We have with us Dylan, and as always, Tony and Kelly. Did you guys want to finish up your sci-fi talk, and then we'll get to Pat?
And then we'll get into Pat. And I keep on saying that, and it just sounds so wrong, but that's that's SnarkAlec Radio. I'm gonna start throwing some of these tweets into the chat window, Kel.
Okay.
And anybody can take their pick at what they want to spat out. And they are in the correct order, so what's on top was what happened first. And actually, you got retweeted right at the beginning of the movie. Oh, no, you retweeted Nicole, Con Sweet Con. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, she was on fire. By the way, props to Nicole for that movie, because the movie was kind of sucky, but Nicole was, solid. She was funny throughout the whole thing. So, but I don't see anything pasted in the chat window yet.
Well, you got to give me a couple of seconds there, Cal.
I did my little how awesome Con Sweet Con was, and I thought, voila, there's the first tweet, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Disappointing. Very disappointing.
Not all of us can be as awesome as the awesome Kelly.
That's true. That is so true.
So I am doing a little bit of work here, and there goes the first one, and I'll get some more in there. So the first name you see is the person who retweeted it, and then after that you'll see blah, blah, blah.
So, Dylan, why don't you take this?
I'll read that one since it's from you, actually. James Graves retweeted this from Kelly, Mr. Kelly. Bet Sharktopus is going to throw a sucker punch at Terracuda, but he will only wing him.
2 puns.
That's a good one. I like that one. That's a good one.
And I'll take the next one here. Patrick Smith nominated Mr. Shugguth, who said, did not need, as Tony Pace just totally screws me up. Okay, did not need to see that woman's underpants. Never thought I'd say that. Sharktopus or Starcliffe. That was a good tweet. Mike, how's your reading skills today?
I never really learned to read, but I'll take a shot at it.
Sound them out.
Wait, which one am I doing?
The next one that says Dylan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's from. I retweeted. It's me, Karen Marie.
Well, now you're kind of reading it. It was my job. Oh, how sweet Sharktopus and Terracuda sharing a meal. Now they're playing Sharktopus versus Terracuda. That was a hashtag at the end there. That was hard to read because it keeps scrolling up as new things go into the chat.
And you're not good at reading. So,
no, I'm not a reader.
Yeah, you can tell. So I'll go ahead and take the next one. This was a Dylan recommendation, and this is one of Con Sweet Cons, and she was, like I mentioned, on fire. And this was after one of the planes went down in Sharktopus versus Terracuda. Same problems in Sharknado 2, so Con Sweet Con tweeted, thanks to Sharktopus versus Terracuda and Sharknado 2, I bet airfare is real cheap this week. So, good for her.
We skipped over Dawn's. I'll do that one real quick.
Oh, sorry.
And then it just moved.
Yeah, it's not going to move anymore, so.
Yeah, it's okay. I retweeted Dawn's. Dawn's was.
I still don't think those count, by the way.
Guess Sharktopus didn't care.
What was that? What happened? What I missed?
Kelly?
I'm here. I'm here. I just, you know my long-standing issue with spousal retweets. You know, I think it's an area of gray. But you guys are both really funny, so I will allow you to retweet each other. So I'm gonna do, I think, then Geek. I'm gonna have to do Geek Aaron here because that's the only one I can read right now. Let me see if I can scroll up. Nope, I can't.
Wait, hold on. Do you need to scroll? If I do that, does that help?
Okay, this is really sad here. Okay. I'm going to just read this. I don't know who this is. So James Grave retweeted Mr. Tony Solo, who said, showing growth here, not to tweet about Conan O'Brien giving head to the entire volleyball team, because, of course, in the movie, Conan O'Brien gets decapitated, and they just merrily play beach volleyball with Conan O'Brien's head without missing a beat. It's a little strange.
Somebody had to.
And that was the best part of the movie that wasn't a scene from the original Sharktopus.
That was pretty good. So, Mike, you want to take a shot at one?
Sure. The P is silent, just like all the other letters in this plot in the movie.
Kind of loses something.
Yeah.
Mike's delivery blew that. That was actually a good...
Was it?
He destroyed it, yeah. Was it? Yes, it was, Mike.
Was it, Kelly?
If you have to ask, yes, it was, Mike. It was a very good tweet. Many people retweeted it, so hush.
I'm actually just sitting here. I'm trying to think of how I'm going to balance all my side pieces. So.
Got a lot of them.
Your side piece flush, man. You don't know.
I'll get the next one. This is Patrick Smith retweeted this one from Guy Lex. Sharktopus just had a hungry man dinner. Sharktopus versus Terracuda.
Okay. And how many more left?
Looks like 2.
There's 2. I'll take the next one. I've done so well up until this point. He brought a knife to a teeth fight, stupid man.
And that was from Pirate, as Mike mentioned, that was from Pirate Mel.
As I said, at
the
beginning of that.
His soft voice.
Yeah, if you missed it, that's on you.
All right, And then so finally, and we'll get out of this segment here, thankfully. Patrick Smith, recommended from James Graves Jr. He rubs the tentacle on her face again, and she's dumping him for that douchebag for a fish. So she's dumping that douchebag for a fish.
I'm sorry, can you read that again?
No, I don't think I could. Let me try that again. I thought I was going to get, she rubs the tentacle and she gets the hose, and so I got
that's where it should have been going. It should have gone to a Silence of the
No, I
Lambs.
like the tentacle in the face, and that was enough for me to sample and put in a song.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, good. Moving along. So, thanks to the folks that did watch the movie to make it a little bit more bearable, because it was not one of the stronger offerings. It wasn't even bad funny at some moments, but Conan's spot was pretty nice. And there were some great tweets. And again, props to Kansui Khan, who I think was very, very effective that evening. So, good for her.
So do we want to take a break, Mike, and then talk to Pat?
Yeah, let's take a break, and then we'll get right into Pat.
Okay, so the host would usually at that point say, "This is the SnarkAlecs Radio Show on Live 365 Live Loaded channel." We'll be right back.
And we're back. SnarkAlecs Radio on Loud and Loaded Live 365.
Idiot hosting the show.
I keep getting interrupted. I was doing such a perfect job bringing us back from the break, and Kelly fucked it all up.
Yeah, sorry.
We're here with our very special guest, Pat Briggs. And, of course, Kelly, Tony, and Dylan. And we're going to get into Pat now.
Kelly fucked it all up again. He fucked it all up.
So
creepy. So creepy.
Who the hell
They're into some weird stuff.
And the fact he likes to view it so much is even creepier.
Who?
I need to apologize to the audience that Kelly and Tony are bringing their personal affair into the show. So anyway, let's get to Pat. Pat, since the last time we talked to you, I saw on Facebook, as I'm sure everyone else did, that you're with a new record company now.
I am with a new record company, LTL Records, out of Vancouver, and so far so good. It's been a couple weeks and we haven't had a knockdown, drag-out fight yet.
That's always good.
Knock on wood.
How did you hook up with them?
Through one of my fans, actually. Just, was working with them, and I don't know, just, I guess, off the cuff, didn't think I would consider it, and said something to me about it, and I was like, sure, let's do it, let's rock. So, I don't know. I like what they're about, and I like particularly what the president of the label is all about.
So Pat, that's so dealing kind of with the record company is something I don't have any sort of frame of reference at all with. I'd be interested in hearing from you a little bit. What would be talk to me about what like a good record company is versus a bad record company in terms of like for you, if you're coming in and say I'm going to work with these people or that people. What's either something when you see it you like it and you go these are the people I want to work with, or if you see something you go I don't want any part of that. Does that question make sense?
Well, I'll just tell you that, the perfect label would be one that gave you a whole lot of money to do exactly what you wanted to do with it and stayed the fuck out of your business. And didn't ask you to pay it back. How about that?
That's what I'd like Mike to do with SnarkAlecs Radio, by the way.
Pay you a lot of money and leave you alone?
Yes.
I'm halfway there. My record label leaves me alone, but they don't pay me anything, so I feel like it was a trade-off.
Are you putting it out?
Yeah, they do.
Well, also this outfit helped too me get the deal. You know what I'm saying? It's like
I would imagine so. When you walk into a business meeting with that on, you've already taken control of the situation.
I have the upper hand suddenly.
That is definitely one. So, for those of you that are listening to the show on the radio, Pat came dressed to put on a show.
He's wearing a cardigan and some khakis,
nice sweater vest,
boat shoes,
Scarf around the throat.
Throw an Argyle sweater on and some glasses and took the Bible on and marched out the door.
And he's smoking one of those Sherlock Holmes type pipes, you know, with the big curl and the giant bowl. And
Made of scrimshaw.
so, are you still recording, Pat, or are you getting ready to? Are they getting ready to release?
They have released the single. The single is out because we're digital now. And, you know, we don't have to wait a long time for all that stuff anymore. So the single's out, and I'm still finishing the rest of the record. I have one more song to do, and I personally feel it's some of the best work I've ever done. And
So
I'm happy with it.
is it a full LP type thing, or is it how many songs you recording?
Well, right now there's 5 new ones and a bunch of remixes as well, and it's basically a full album length material. An album would be 10 to 12 songs, new, generally, and so this is short of that, but I'm winding back into this a little bit, so.
And to piggyback a little bit onto what Kelly was asking, it kind of sounds like you want the record company to leave you alone, but you're just not recording. It sounds like you're involved in the whole process. Are you involved in the production also?
Yeah, it's me and Lonnie Paul. The two of us, did everything, and he's really, really incredibly talented. Lonnie is, and he's been around for quite a while, and in several bands, and I think he's really coming into his own right now as well. And I feel like I'm just like hitting my stride. After this is my 30th year in the music business, and I feel like I'm just getting going now. It's just really kind of a strange feeling, but it's exciting. I'm all about it.
Is it easier now with all the different delivery systems that they have for music and of getting the word out about you and your music than it was when you first got into the business?
I don't think so. No. It's so spread out now, and there's so many money grubbing, like everybody's trying to figure out how to make money, and there's a lot of scumbags out there right now, and
like Mike.
there are little marketing schemes, and pay $6.95 for their bundle package of shit. They'll get you 2,000 listeners. I don't know what that means exactly.
Yeah, no, it's like on Twitter or on Facebook. Hey, you can get 2,000 followers. Blah blah blah. Yeah, it looks nice, but it doesn't actually, like you said, it doesn't mean anything.
I can go to Cedar-Sinai emergency room and play it, and make them listen to it, and then I have 40 listeners. Like I don't know what that means. What does that mean? It's not people who are buying the record.
Right. You could drive down the street with a big speaker on your car and have the same thing. You can drive through neighborhoods and get millions of listeners. It doesn't put money in your pocket, but yeah, I understand.
And it doesn't gain you fans either.
Yeah, and so this will be like for the folks listening to SnarkAlec Radio. This will be the part where we will learn whether Mike, is an effective station manager or not. Because during SnarkAlec Radio, this would be a great point. Pat mentioned he's got a new single out. Hey, maybe we should hear that signal right now. So what we're going to do is say, hey, here's Pat's new single. Now, if what you hear me is talking and there was no music, Mike screwed up.
And how has the reaction to Can't Scrub Your Soul Clean been?
It's been amazing. I'm really, really kind of bowled over by it because I didn't expect it. I'm so used to people not liking my music and ignoring it that they're finally kind of paying attention to it, and I'm not quite sure what to do with that. So I'm just gonna have fun with it.
What led to that being chosen as the first single?
It was the first song. I didn't think I was going to do another one. I mean, really, it's like it's been my new career, whatever you want to call it, has taken on a life of its own, and I'm merely a passenger in it, basically. And it's actually an awesome way to be right now because I'm not stressing about it. I'm recording while people are supposed to be doing their jobs over, wherever the hell they are, and I don't know. Destiny will rear its ugly head whether you like it or not,
So if Mike fails us and we don't have Can't Scrub Your Soul Clean on the show, where could people find it, Pat?
They can find it anyway. The video is out. It's on YouTube and Vimeo, and you can buy it. You can buy it on all the major, iTunes, Amazon, Rhapsody, Spotify, all of them. You can find it in all those places.
So, Mike.
Yes.
Are you going to be playing it on the Loud and Loaded channel?
Actually, Can't Scrub Your Soul Clean is already in heavy rotation on Loud and Loaded.
Okay. So if
I
was to go over to the Vimeo channel and start playing just a snippet of it so people that are listening live could hear it, would that be a problem?
No, go right ahead. As long as Pat's okay with it.
I'm fine with it.
Okay, well, it's not going to be the best sounding. It's not going to be as good as what you could hear on Loud and Loaded, but this should work.
Takes so much energy. Takes balls now. Shooting ball now. You're feeling so systematic. You're lackluster.
And that's about 40 seconds of the song. And if you want to hear more, you're going to have to listen to Loud and Loaded Radio. You're going to have to download it and buy it and do all that fun stuff. You really should check out the video because the video is really rocking.
The video is great.
So, and the name of the song is the first single is You Can't Scrub Your Soul Clean if you guys want to check it out after we get done. So, are you gonna do a tour now, Pat, or are you just gonna wait to finish the record and see what happens?
I'm this weekend. I'm finishing the last song, and then I'm going Monday morning, right in the middle of hurricanes. I'm going to Hawaii because that's the smart thing to do, and I'm going to be working on some additional stuff for this record there, and hopefully shooting another video. And if there's an island left, I don't know. We'll see. So I'll be there for the next 2 weeks, and I'm assembling the band now, and we're getting ready to do some shows because that's what I do best.
And when you joined us last time, we talked about the video for Can't Scrub Your Soul Clean. That was shot in Hawaii too, right? You going back to work with the same guy to do more?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Devin Moore is amazing, yeah.
Good
And
stuff.
plus, there's nothing like shooting a really raucous, weird, artsy video in the jungle.
Now, do you know do you already have an idea of what the second single will be?
I believe it's going to be Alive. Still Alive, it's called. And I can play it for you, actually.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
Why don't we take another quick break before you do that, Pat?
Okay.
Okay, and Pat could actually probably do a better job hosting than the host could do today because he's lacking. Because that was supposed to be a wink, wink, nudge,
No,
nudge.
the host got scared before the show started because I came home and there was 4 or 5 police cars parked in front of my house.
Different
That's
ones than
never,
usual?
yeah, that's never something you want to see at my house. So
Yeah. Or
there's
any,
any
My
house,
house.
but there's way too much things they could use against me inside my house.
So, did they find the bodies, Mike?
No, they were here for someone else. So
So officers, if you're listening, what's the apartment number?
yes.
I'd like to facilitate.
It's
The-
awful too when you step out of a car. When you step out of the car and your driver is coughing and there's a billow of smoke behind you as you step out, and then you're trying not to look suspicious walking into your own house.
I'd like, yeah. You're gonna have a hard time not looking suspicious, Mike. But
I did not drive Mike home today.
new
I was
pope
gonna say, and that
elected.
driver was Tony.
That's right. They elected a new pope.
On that note, let's take a quick break. SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded station, and we'll be right back. And we're back with special guest Pat Briggs, Tony, Kelly, and of course Dylan. And Pat's about to play us what will probably be the second single off of his upcoming solo debut.
It's called Still Alive. Gonna take me a second here. Can you hear that?
Yes.
Fantastic.
The body's cold, stories told. Blood spills out with vicious tale. Misunderstood, what's so no good. Shame and torture, soul is never well. But you try and try. But you can't kill the dead inside. Cause you can't believe that I'm still alive. I'm still alive. My blood is red. I'm a gray undead. Cause I'm still alive. I'm still alive. The story's red. What's left for dead? A lifeless corpse with a lifeless shame. If fate would fear without the tears, Empire's feel no one else to claim. All wasted time. Let's all burn together, bury me. You can't believe I'm still alive. I'm still alive. My blood is red. I'm a gray undead. Cause I'm still alive. I'm still alive. No one cry when they find die. No one cry, and now you're scared. They still alive. Don't bury me, cause you can't believe that I'm still alive. I'm still alive. Don't bury me, cause you can't believe I'm still alive. I'm still alive. My blood is red. I'm a gray undead. But I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive.
Holy shit. That's really, really good. I mean, like, really, like, that should be on the
That
radio.
deserves an applause right there. Absolutely. Fantastic.
How long is that? Does that fit normal radio format, like 3 and 305 or whatever it is that they like?
More in there. Yeah, I would say so.
Excellent.
Well, I know that we are going to have it in heavy rotation here. So
Awesome. That's what I love to hear.
Yeah, Pat. So I don't know if you had the chat window up here as we've had the hangout, but a couple of us, Tony, Dylan, and I, not Mike because he doesn't know how to read or type, but we were exchanging, just how much we were really all enjoying the song, and particularly Dylan and I, is that. Mike, Dylan, you were kind of saying this isn't exactly my typical kind of music.
Yeah, it's not my type of music that I'm usually a huge fan of. That's just me, but that was freaking fantastic, man. Loved it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
From the very beginning, man. I mean, as soon as I heard that beat at the beginning, I was like, "Holy shit, that's awesome!"
It had really, really good guitar work at the beginning, and then the vocals kick in, and then it just takes off.
There's not a lot of songs on this record, but the ones that are there are pretty intense. I think I'm getting out, 8 years of bottled up shit that I held in for a while, and so it's kind of being unleashed, a little bit. So.
Well, that song doesn't let up, man. It just starts and goes.
Yeah,
Very
it's not the type of song I want to hear if I am stuck in traffic. But
might be.
Because bad things could happen. No, but it's it definitely has some power, and the vocals bring it all home. It's really, really good. I like it, and it is my kind of music because I like harder.
It's kind of a departure for me a little bit because it's on. I mean, I don't tend to not normally be kind of that hard, and I'm running with it.
Yeah, if that's as hard as it gets, I mean, because it. I guess the best way to say it would be Pat Briggs with an edge. A little bit more of an edge because it's not like some of the stuff that Mike listens to where the guy's like "Rah, rah, 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 rah," sounds like a barking dog when he's singing.
What? You took my Snickers bar? Where's my Snickers bar? I need a Three Musketeers.
Wait, when did this turn on the shit on Mike's show?
I don't know. It's fun, isn't it?
It's just kind of where I'm at in life right now, I think. So.
I just like Tony's interpretation of what speed metal lyrics would be. Kind of candy bar related.
He would be so shocked if he read the lyrics to the songs.
Yeah, and that's why I said I need a Snickers bar and give me Three Musketeers because
That's probably.
Well, Pat, speaking of your lyrics, has your approach on the solo stuff been any different in your writing than it was with the Psychotica stuff?
Well, I don't think so, but I mean, I'm hearing. I'm maybe a little clearer lyrically. Like, I'm kind of more in tune with where I'm at in life right now than I was then, and kind of more in touch with it. So I think that comes across. I mean, kind of can't help it not really. I had my head up my ass then, big time. Basically.
What we've heard so far has been really awesome, both musically and lyrically. So I'm a little embarrassed to even suggest it because you are totally on it. But if you do go into no other song, you may want to consider doing something like "You're My Sidecar," because I think that could be a great song there because we got that came up from SnarkAlecs.
We also have a comment from Vicky Adesso, and I believe yesterday she saw Kiss and Def Leppard on Jones Beach.
And she'll probably be joining us shortly.
Yeah, she pops in whenever she can. And she says, yes, she's digging it quite a lot. So, Lee's digging it. Myrna wants to know why you're glowing. Pat.
Why I'm glowing?
Yeah. It could be the gold shirt that you're wearing. I mean,
Yeah, I would have to say it's the bling.
it's the bling. It is the bling. So, I asked you before about touring, and it sounds like you're planning it, but I guess you don't have anything scheduled yet?
I don't. I actually had to turn down a couple of shows because I'm not ready yet. You know, like I'm going to be doing a multimedia presentation with the new shows too, and it's a little tricky. So I'm going to be incorporating some film stuff and some Disney effects basically. No, but some old school Hollywood mumbo jumbo, and I'm excited about that.
Okay. Did Dylan say goodbye, or did he just
I think he
pop
left.
out?
He had said he stayed.
He was going to leave at about 10, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good night, Dylan. So, in the last 8 years, have you been performing at all, or just...
No, I've been sitting on my ass, feeling sorry for myself, and that gets old after a while. So, the one thing I hate in life more than anything is mediocrity. So, at some point I, realized I had become really mediocre. So I better fucking do something about it.
Yeah, and
So I did.
well, you have the opportunity to do it a little bit better than some of the rest of us, because if you've got a shot at going out there and recording and doing what you do, and from what I'm seeing, everybody is digging the new both new songs. So
I have a question on Facebook from Joaquin Diaz, who wants to know if after the solo stuff there will be new Psychotica stuff.
I mean, as I've told my band members in Psychotica, being in a band with me is like being married to the mob. Once you're in, you're never getting out. So, I mean, yeah, eventually there will be. I think I'm just really enjoying. I mean, I love Paul and Enrique. They're like family to me. More than that even. But I'm really enjoying doing what I'm doing right now. I've never had this opportunity before to take the blame for all of it and not be able to point any finger. My entire career I've had a band to hide behind. And you don't really realize that you're hiding behind them, and until you're in a situation like this, I guess. And it's both frightening and liberating at the same time. And yeah, we'll definitely, we'll make records together probably until we're dead, I would imagine.
So, are you going to come after you take over Hawaii? You going to come to the East Coast?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, all my best friends are on the East Coast. I lived in New York 15 years, and I consider myself a New Yorker, more than anything. I think at this point, the only reason I left in the first place is because I hate snow. So that's a big bummer.
Well, last winter was a good thing that you weren't here then.
Such a bummer. I can't take it. It doesn't snow in Burbank, where I'm from. You know what I'm saying?
I hate it where it doesn't snow. I kind of like the change in seasons, but I just don't like shoveling that shit. I just can't.
I can't do it.
Polar vortex is no fun either. When you 40 below zero, that's bad. That's not a place to be. So I could live without snow.
It's July, or it's August in California, and notice I'm sitting on a fur, chilled.
Well, I think we're getting down to about 65 tonight, or maybe a little bit cooler. It's nice. We're going to open up the windows. So,
Pat, I also wanted to ask you, since you were talking about how everything's digital now, what are your thoughts on the streaming services like Spotify, Rhapsody, and Beats?
You know, I can't even keep up with them yet at this point. I mean, I feel like an idiot, you know, most of the time trying to make my way around these things, and you know, there's 7-year-old kids going, dude, I don't do this and do that. I'm like, oh, I don't get it, you know. And so, a lot of times I just have to pretend like I know what the hell I'm doing and put one foot for the other, you know, because it can be embarrassing.
So does a label help you at all with that at all in terms of the distribution channels, or is it more up to you to have to figure that out?
No, it's all in. I mean, they've asked me for, you know, any, you know, desires, you know, that I have, and on that level, but it's all in their you know, it's their ball on that one, because I'm so entrenched in actually doing this record that I really don't care about any of the rest of it right now. You know, it's hard for me, which is always the position I've wanted to be in. You know, because I remember early on getting really wrapped up in the business side of it. You know, all this stuff, and it just really sucks the life out of you when you're trying to write songs and you know, capture it on tape. You know. And I am where I always wanted to be, you know, so I don't give a fuck about the business part. You know? What it is.
With everything being digital now, is there a difference in the way that you record as opposed to, you know, like when you first started out? I mean, have things changed that much? Is it easier now, or is it the same, just with different toys?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot easier, and it's a lot less shit to drag around, for one, you know. And I remember, you know, doing recordings on 2-inch tape reels that, you know, you dragging huge boxes of, you know, tape from studio to studio, and you know, it was cumbersome.
So now you just carry a USB drive with you and just tote it all on?
To me, I don't know. I don't have to carry anything, actually. You know, email it. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Work for 10 hours and then put it all in an email. That's cool.
Well, the awesome part for me is, like, I can go in and sing this. Most of these songs I did in, like, the one vocal day. You know, like that song you just heard, I did probably in 4 hours. And that's awesome. I mean, and then I left the studio and I heard that mix that night.
Wow. And you see, I can't understand when I hear about a band going into the studio and them taking 18 months.
Because they're doing drugs for 17 months of it.
I just...
Once again, I feel like that was directed at me.
Well...
No, there's no that anymore, really.
Well, because the other part of that, too, is that, you know, sometimes you get some of these bands that they spend so much time in the studio, and then when you go see them live, like, they can't pull it off. Like, they don't sound like that. And I think it's kind of, you know, a rip-off to the fans. I mean, their hardcore fans are still going to love it, but I don't want a band to sound exactly like a radio, but I want you to sound good. And if you have to spend a month on every song to make it sound good, then it's, you know, it's a rip-off.
Well, and, you know, you either can go in and make it happen or not. You know, it's like spending a month because the T in the wasn't quite right. You know, it's really, I think, a sign of immaturity as a musician. Like, I remember doing that very thing. You know, spending months on a crappy song. You can't polish a turd. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and yes, And maybe that's just it. Maybe that it's just a song that's just too crappy, and no matter what you do to it, it's still going to be crap.
You can gloss it up a little bit, and it is possible, because I feel like I spent a lot of time trying to do just that, years ago, but I think as you mature, you're able to get the song from your head onto the tape in a relatively short period of time, and it is what it is, and then you let it go. Because a recording is basically an audio photograph. It's capturing a moment in time, and there'll never be that moment in time again. So you move on. That's how I see it.
It makes a lot of sense. It does. It's what you feel, what you're doing right then and there. It does make a lot of sense. And yeah, after the next day you go back in and you say, oh, well, maybe I can do this. Yeah, you're just overproducing whatever. And so, what do you think about the use of auto-tune? Has it ruined?
I don't have a comment on it. I mean, why? Why is it used like that? I mean, it's ridiculous.
I don't understand, but there are some people out there that are making a lot of money that.
Oh, I know that.
And
barely have any talent.
Tony's daughters like auto-tune stuff too, by the way. So yeah, Mike, I wanted to jump in and clarify real quick with the whole polishing a turd thing, not directed at you. So
Oh, thank you, Kelly.
be of good cheer.
I'm glad you don't like me, but you at least like my music. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. It's a lot to overcome. So
I think we're in a really dangerous musical time period right now, though, of just homogenizing everything to the point of where it has no character anymore, and it scares me to listen to some of the music out there right now. To think that might be the direction we're going to further go in.
yeah, because it just seems like the odds of somebody who's got a really different approach and sound and those types of things, to see them break through now, when you see kind of how the machine runs and what comes out, which is more of the same, it is concerning, because some of the great, really creative folks that did very different things, I don't know, one, how they get attention to begin with, and if they do get attention, how they get any kind of airplay. So,
well, this is where it's a little kind of promising, because there are people around like you guys, and I have been received. This is the first time radio has ever even given me the time of day, ever. And I find that interesting, because I think that a lot of kind of cool underground people have decided, because of this, because radio has changed as well, as you guys all know, and it's kind of like a big open frontier, and the people who are interesting enough to go tread the path, are out there doing it, and there's some really cool people doing it right now, and hopefully they will attract, those interesting artists as well, because I think what radio stations are doing are kind of getting their own little stable of artists that are their artists, and I think that's a really cool idea, actually. So,
well, I think that's what we're doing, or what Mike is doing, but I think most commercial terrestrial radio, you have one guy that programs 100 stations across the country, and they
always be that.
They go with what works, and they test market everything, and they test everything, and they see what the focus groups say, and basically there's not a lot of, people like what you're saying that want to take a risk with something that's not mainstream but good, because again, you said it before, there's a lot of people out there looking to get their hands on your money, and if they don't think it's going to make them money, they're not going to go with it. So
Well, and yeah, basically. You realize there's only 3 labels left, right? 3 major labels. That's it.
so
They
and
don't
then
have-
one of them is Sony, right? Is Sony a legit label?
Universal, Sony, and the Wea Group.
And they're all
Fuck
gone?
the major labels, but we still love you, Universal. Don't drop me.
I'm not saying they're bad, but I'm just pointing out that
Oh no, I say it all the time, but then I follow it up really quick with like, accept Universal.
there are only 3 labels. Kind of frightening.
Way to take it to and suck up to the man simultaneously, Mike. Well
Right at the same time. Yeah.
From the man who doesn't know how to do plugs.
Fuck those other labels unless they sign me someday. Then I'm okay with them.
You're okay. Moment of clarity. So it's good.
Hey, fuckhead, is it time to take a break?
That's so fucking creepy. Yeah, I think it's time to take a break. We'll be right back on SnarkAlecs Radio with our special guest, Pat Briggs. And as always, Kelly and Tony. And we're back on SnarkAlecs Radio with our special guest, Pat Briggs. And as always, we have Kelly and Tony on the Live 365 network, the Loud and Loaded station. And we were just talking. Sorry, Kelly, what were you going to say?
I just did. We had Dylan put to sleep. Didn't work out.
Yeah, no, Dylan's not here anymore. We tried it out. It just wasn't working out for us. We can't risk him going somewhere else, though, so we just had him killed.
Okay, no. Let's tell the people the truth. His computer froze up, and he wants us to thank Patrick. He thinks "Still Alive" sounds like a perfect song for a football highlight film. Excellent song.
All right.
Yeah, if it was going to be a highlight film type song, it would have to be like, guys getting hit hard and then getting right back up. But yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. All right. I'll go with it.
So not the Eagles, basically, is what you're saying. No, we lost Tony.
No, you didn't lose Tony. I'm not an Eagle fan.
So this is a part where I jump in and say I don't understand
Yes,
any
it's
of these
fine,
sports references.
No, me either.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, Tony. Just appeared. You disappeared, but it must have been my eyes. My apologies.
No,
Alrighty.
I just bent down. So where are we going now, Mike? I'm pretty done with all my questions. Mike?
Well, I guess the only thing I wanted to talk to Pat about a little bit more, if you have a couple more minutes to hang around with us, would be on your upcoming tour. Are you gonna? What were you thinking in terms of your set list? Is it going to be strictly solo material? Are you going to do Psychotica songs? Are you going to incorporate any cover songs into your set?
There's going to be one new cover, that's for sure, and it's actually going to be on this record, even. I forgot about that song. 2 songs. And it's a duet that I'm doing with somebody, with an entire family, actually.
The Osmonds?
That's a big duet.
That was close, actually.
Ooh, the Partridge Family.
No, but it was close with the Osmonds.
This is going to be a 17-hour episode as we get every family version.
As Tony goes through all of his daughter's favorite bands. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a really dark version of "The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow" from Annie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Can you mention who you're doing that with, or is that still?
No. You'll see. It's
Okay.
going to blow your mind, believe me.
It's going to be with that creepy baby that's been on the show, right? That would sound horrible. So that we won't know it won't be that. That sounds really good. A dark version of "The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow." Sign me up. I will. That. I'm looking forward. So that has or has not been recorded yet.
It hasn't been recorded. We're working on the arrangement right now of it. So.
Okay. Cool. Excellent.
And you mentioned the last time that you were on about possibly releasing the solo record as a picture disc. Is that still a plan?
Well, I have also since then signed a book deal, and my plan is to make it so that when you download each chapter, you get a visual and a song with it.
All right, you did mention that the last time, but you were talking about it, but you hadn't done the book deal at the.
I have done the book deal with Orsini Press out of Spain, and it's very exciting.
Now, is that something that will be coming this year, or is that something further down the line?
Probably not this year. Probably not this year. Because it's something. This is like my special baby. This thing, and it's something that I'm not willing to put out there until it's absolutely perfect. Like, I don't have a lot of those things. Like, I'm pretty open about, things I create about, cutting them loose at a certain point and not worrying about it, but not this one.
How long has this project been coming together creatively for you?
Well, I wrote the first version of it 15 years ago, and Ted Demme optioned it, and then died, unfortunately, and so it kind of got lost in, red tape. And then, subsequently, a whole other portion of my life happened in the meantime, so there was a lot more to add to it. So I've kind of had to start from scratch again on it, but that's okay. My perspective is different too, I think. So.
Now, will the songs or the visuals that accompany that, will that be new things that are created specifically for that project?
Some of them. Some of the songs I'm doing now are relevant to it. So I think, it'll be a mixture.
The Jacksons.
Hanson.
Whitney Houston.
Much
That
more
would be really dark because she's dead.
Much more diabolical than any of that.
Wow.
Is it weird that I was kind of hoping you nailed it with Hanson? I was like, God, that would be amazing.
And I may I would consider
they're available.
Can I use them for human sacrifice in the video?
Frankenhanson.
That'd be all right. Yeah, I will buy every single copy if there is a single of Pat doing Tomorrow, Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow, and Hanson is actually sacrificed in the video. That I will.
Even if you fake it, even if it's just special effects.
Well, I don't want to fake.
There's laws against that, Kelly.
I don't like to promote violence, but I'll make an exception in this particular case.
And I'm pretty sure Hawaii's got like a whole different set of rules too, so we can do it there.
Yeah, definitely.
Just as long as in Hawaii, I don't think you can harm a chicken or a pig. So.
Okay, so you're talking about your daughters, okay? So when I leave here right now, I have to now go to the Rose Bowl to pick up my 20-year-old niece who came over from Hawaii. She's never been off the islands at all. They came over to go to the Rihanna concert. So I'm the chaperone. Chaperone. And I gotta go pick them up afterwards.
Please tell me you're not changing.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
I'm not changing. Hell no.
Well, he's out there on the West Coast. Doesn't everybody dress like that?
No. Well, not at Home Depot anyhow. I love nothing. One of my favorite things on the planet is showing up in some getup like this at 6 o'clock in the morning at Home Depot when all the contractors are in there with coffee. And they're just glazed over as I walk in with last night's makeup dripping down my face. You know.
You go over, look at the power tools, and like, what the fuck?
I need a router.
Give me some sheetrock and a 2x4. I'll show you show.
Yeah, I see. I see. There's this vision of Pat randomly walking through Home Depot at 6 a.m. in the morning, going router.
You know what's even
Be
better?
awesome. Be
You know
Cracked
what's
out,
better?
just awful, like a train wreck. Yeah, that's awesome.
In Home Depot on Saturday mornings they have like a table where you can bring your kids in, and they have like arts and craft things where you can build like a little birdhouse or a little car. And you show up there at 8 o'clock in the morning dressed up like that, and
You said
join in.
you said your niece is in town, right? You can take your niece to it. It can be a family thing.
That's right.
They don't put up with my nonsense. They've got a whole lifetime of it. Please, they're wise with my answers. Totally.
Yeah, I would pay to see that. I would pay to see the look on the parents' faces of Pat walking by dressed like that while their kids are hammering together a little birdhouse.
So let's do this birdhouse thing. That would be awesome. Very cool.
I mean, I took my nieces to go see a movie one night, and trying to be, click in with the family thing and, participate and all that shit. And, I was wearing cowboy boots, some stretch jeans, cowboy hat, and, I don't know, some kind of, like, not very, out weird shirt. And they were mortified at what I was wearing, okay? They were on their phones with their boyfriends the whole time. They're like, oh my God, what do you see my uncle wearing? I was like, and I felt really like, I felt like an outcast, or like, I felt definitely, what's the word I'm looking for?
Ostracized?
Ostracized. Thank you very much. Ostracized. And plus, you know what? Now it fuels my fire because they want to be embarrassed. I'll embarrass them now. Like I'll show up in a clown outfit with no ass and fucking pants. I'll show them what embarrassing is now. Teach them to keep their mouths shut.
Yeah, and that's what it's like to be a daddy, even if you're not. Because I do that all the time.
Wear an assless clown.
I was just gonna say, wait, you wear
an assless clown outfit?
Show up in sniper, right? Is that what you do?
No, but I've had those situations where I've had one or two of my daughters tell me to stop doing what I'm doing because I was embarrassing them.
Yeah.
And that's the worst thing that they could say. I'll be like, what? I'm embarrassing you? You don't know embarrassed.
Yeah. Yeah, where I tuck my dick between my butt cheeks and come out of a chrome egg, naked, and then you'll be embarrassed at your graduation. Okay.
I wouldn't go that far, but I know how to do it though. That would be funny. Yes, why don't we just reenact that scene from Silence of the Lambs?
All right, guys. So I have to go. I have to go to Rihanna and pick up my niece.
Cool.
Thank you for having me.
sir.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming back on.
Thank you for
Yeah,
coming
thanks.
back on. And when you have tour dates, we want you to come back on and let us know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Patrick. It was a pleasure. And Dylan says thank you, and he apologizes again. He loves both of the songs that he heard tonight.
Awesome.
Good
Happy
stuff.
about it. All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Yeah. Bye, Patrick.
Bye, Patrick. So we want to wrap this puppy up there, Mikey boy?
Sure thing. Did you want to take another break, or did you just want to wrap the show up?
Let's take a break, and then we'll come back real quick.
Oh, I wanted to gut the pig. Okay, we'll come back.
Okay. So this is the SnarkAlecs Radio on Live
Oh.
Loud and Loaded channel. We'll be
Everybody's
right
stealing my
back.
fucking job.
Yeah, right.
Everybody, welcome back.
Ah!
Assless clown. So-
That's why I didn't say anything.
I'm gonna fucking call you Tony the Assless Clown from now on. That was amazing. You're like, oh, I do that.
I'm like, wait, what? That's what I heard. Yeah. That's like, yeah, I put on this clown outfit with no ass in it. Tony's like, oh, I do that all the time.
I was like, oh my god, I feel so bad. Like, I have a feeling that when we have your daughter on the show at some point, we're gonna have to do like an intervention thing. Like, what does your dad do? He blames you for all the terrible music he listens to.
I don't like any of that stuff. You know, she's gonna be crying.
Yeah, he won't believe you.
She's like, I just listened to Black Sabbath and Psychotica and stuff, and then Dad's like, no, Michael Bolton, listen to
Partridge Family. You know.
I did love, though, that you were guessing all the family bands. I was hoping we would hit it.
Yeah.
And then when, was it you or Kelly who said Hanson?
I threw out Hanson.
You threw out Hanson. I wanted that to be it so bad.
That would be pretty cool.
I can't wait to hear it, though. That sounds like a great song.
Well, Whitney Houston, he didn't hear Whitney Houston, but I was like, Whitney Houston would be dark because she's dead, you know? I thought the Jacksons was it, though. But, hey.
Also, the living ones are all very available as well.
Yeah,
So,
not doing much of anything, especially like Tito and Jermaine, you know? I heard they're not too busy recently. So, hey! Hi, Allison Vick. How you doing?
yes, we need to get that young lady back on the show again. Our first celebrity guest was Alice.
And Christina wants to
Saw
come
you-
back on
Saw you
September
sent her a note on
timeframe.
that.
We also have to figure out when we want to get Bronwyn in here, because if she doesn't come in soon, there will be war.
Yes. Unfortunately, we're just going to have to go to war with Canada. And I've made an incredible offer to her. Not only did I say if she came on the show, we would call off this war, which I feel might be unnecessary in the grand scheme of things, but I was even authorized by our government, this is totally real, to offer her Detroit to make that Canada South.
Okay, and I don't see any reason why Canada would want to take those terms.
You think I just shot the whole deal by throwing Detroit into it?
Yeah, I don't think that's a pot sweetener. Probably not.
We could have given them Mexico.
Yeah, but we need Mexico.
Not really.
Sure we
All
do.
of the Mexicans are here, so from what I've heard, anyway.
I feel like we need Mexico. Detroit, I'm not sure. I'm not convinced. What does Detroit have? Eminem? Give it away.
Give it away, give it away, give it away. Give it away now. I don't know. Well, actually, they used to make cars in Detroit.
Used to.
I know they have a lot of debt.
They have Eminem and Kid Rock. All we need to do is relocate Insane Clown Posse so that we can keep them. And then they can just take Detroit. They're not getting Insane Clown Posse, though. You hear that, Canada? They're ours.
With or without assless clown suits. So
Okay.
that is a wonderful image.
So, let's see. We've got nothing else going on here. Nobody was in the Q&A, and no questions or comments from the Peanut Gallery. Well, yeah, a little bit too late, Myrna. Myrna wanted to know if he goes to Walmart just like that, but we covered all of that stuff. He does go out in public,
Yeah.
sometimes dressed that way.
Yeah, Walmart versus Home Depot is probably a nuanced issue.
Well,
I don't
there's
know.
a big difference, because if you've ever seen those pictures of people in Walmart,
Yeah.
that would be like kind of, you know, some.
I was actually going to say, I've been in Walmarts where Pat wearing what he wore tonight would be
tame.
dramatically overdressed
Yeah,
for
tame.
Walmart. There's scary, scary things that happen in Walmart.
And in Michael's too. People
Because you
buying
take your
dolls
you
and
take
shit.
your daughters to Michael's, right?
No, people buy dolls in Mike, or was it Marshalls?
Oh, that's right. You guys, so you're not even doing a cover story on that one.
You know?
I wasn't. So next week, what's going on next week, Mike? We got Vex,
We have Vex from Starscream, and what show, Tony?
the Cock Stars radio show.
Cockstar Radio. It's amazing.
Cockstar Radio. Is he going to be there with you, or is he going to be remote?
He'll probably just be here with me.
Okay, so you got a mic splitter and stuff.
Yeah, we'll be snuggling up next to each other with some hot cocoa and maybe a blanket around us.
Well, I've heard that Vex bangs everything he sees, so he'll probably end the show with You and him having sex.
I mean, I'm not going to rule that out, but I want to see, because there's this thing, and I'm sure we'll get into it next week, so I don't want to get too far into it, but every time I introduced Kelly, since you weren't here, every time I introduce Vex to somebody, he and that person have had sex with the same person at some point. Like their former girlfriend was his former girlfriend, or whatever it was, and it without fail, this has happened. So I'm hoping that when you guys get on and start comparing notes, that'll happen.
Should we be sharing lists in advance to cross-reference? Is this necessary?
It usually happens so quickly that I don't think any advance notice is really necessary in this case.
That's good.
Having said that, hey, we didn't talk about that. That's good. So, next week we'll have Vex on. Maybe we'll have a game. Does anybody have a game we could play, maybe?
I have a game we can play.
Okay. So, we'll have a game. And so Vex and a game and just regular SnarkAlecs shit.
Regular SnarkAlecs shit. And next week, do you want to maybe talk about the SnarkAlecs movie project a little bit?
We can.
I'm just going to give people a little bit of a teaser now. Kelly is doing full frontal male nudity, and our friend Scarecrow Tom is going to die.
Okay.
As those are the two things that you need to know about what we're going to talk about next. Well, three things. Vex will be here. Full frontal male nudity from Kelly. Scarecrow Tom will die.
Everybody wants to see that. So don't forget, bring out your geek. Kelly's Nurture and Support podcast with the lovely Melissa. Dylan Knows is on Saturday night, prime time, 9 p.m. And check out the SnarkAlecs Radio website, and we will be tweeting and publishing links to the fundraiser, which we'll probably talk about a little bit more in depth next week.
Who knows? Maybe even mention a web address related to it. If we get all crazy and stuff like that.
I said the web address.
Yeah.
It's Fund Anything, but I couldn't find it there, my friend.
Didn't say it. Tony said it.
Well, Tony, it was said. The web address was said. Also, we're gonna have. Can I throw one more quick thing in before we say goodnight to everybody?
Yes.
Okay. There's going to be a third show added to Loud and Loaded called Radio Babes.
Really?
That's all I'm gonna say about it. That's it. That's all you get tonight.
Cockstars, Babes, and SnarkAlecs.
Cockstars, Babes, and SnarkAlecs.
So as the owner of the Megla empire that is Loud and Loaded,
the multi-million-dollar
big evil corporation that is that. So you could possibly visit with the new radio show and see if they would be open to changing their name to something like the Sidecars, because that might be something.
I could run it by them, but I feel like they're stuck on their name because they just recorded their first episode, so it's going to be weird to like go back and do these awkward overdubs like, hey, you're listening to the Sidecars on Loud and Loaded.
Okay, fair enough.
If they hadn't already recorded, though, I'm sure they would have went with it.
Yeah. I don't think so.
No.
But I think we have finished our work here, gentlemen.